Welcome back to the Pioneer Sideline, episode 160, coming at you with myself, Chris Hoffman here. Now we're going to bring in the women's analyst, Tim Hardy III, and we're going to jump right into it here. The Pioneers, they need to keep it going here against Berea on Saturday. We're going to take you out to CCAC South there. The Pioneers were taking on the Mountaineers. Battle of the frontier there between those two teams, and the battle of the KIAC. We see there it's going to be senior day. The Pioneers honoring their 5 seniors here, and we're going to jump right to the halftime here. It's 22-17 at the half in favor of Point Park. Second half, that's where the action was at. Savitsky now, she's going to make it in. Spin move up and in for the Pioneers there. Now Shartner, she comes over the shoulder with the layup. Poetry in motion there for the Pioneers. And once again, it's Shartner. Yeah, that's Shartner going to get the ball. She eyes up the 3, and she has it. PPU is up 42-30, but now Burns is going to get the 3 here, and this is the start of a run that the Pioneers just found themselves at the bad end of. Now Warren's going to drive it in. She banks it off the window and in. It's 45-42 here, final seconds. Pioneers cause the turnover. It's going to be April Austin getting it over to Shartner. Back to Austin. Austin decides to keep it with Shartner. Shartner for 3. And the foul, and the Pioneers go up by 1. Now with 10 seconds left, Deanne Ryan for Berea knocks it up and in. Final chance here for the Pioneers. 4 seconds left. They throw up the prayer, and it falls short. Pioneers lose the heartbreaker at home. A 23-2 run to end it there. Berea is going to win this one by a final score of 49-48. You see there, Shartner with 13 points, McFadden with 8, Savitsky with 7, Dunmire 6. Once again, a 23-2 run to end it. They're going to fall to 19-5 overall, 10-4 in the conference. Tim, you end on that type of run at home. I mean, how big does that really hurt them, especially to a Berea College team that they defeated by 20 earlier this season?
Yeah, it's very hurtful indeed, just seeing that in motion. And you kind of get really upset at it and don't even really know what was really going on. But it was just so disappointing, some things, and they just didn't finish out.
You talk about not finishing, and a lot of that comes, I think, from the stars that you saw there. No one really in double digits. Shartner only had 13 points, and really even now, Shartner, we didn't really see her get involved until the second half there, Tim. The Pioneers, if they're going to win these games, you need to see McFadden and Austin put a little bit more than 7-8 points out there.
Yeah, I would have to agree, Chris. When you see things like that, just not enough involvement in all their key players, Shartner, McFadden, and also Austin, it's kind of disappointing, and you just see, I guess the chemistry wasn't working well for them that game.
But this has kind of been a scene in the making here, Tim, as we've seen the Pioneers, they just haven't really been themselves a little bit lately. They're eventually coming into a little bit of a run here. They've hit a tough stretch here in the KIAC, but you got to give Berea credit. They came into the Pioneers gym, and they fell down by 15, and they had no fear.
Yeah, they had great determination. They was able to keep it going with that 23-2 run. They just never gave up and knew they still had a chance. And you've seen that out of Berea team.
And the Pioneers there now, what do you think they need to do, though, to fix that type of problem, to really not let that happen again? They let a Berea team come in and upset them, kind of similar to what Alice Lloyd did earlier this year to start off KIAC play.
Yeah, I'd say if they do anything involved, they need to play better defense, probably finish out a little bit more better than they did against Berea. It was kind of disappointing seeing that, but hopefully they get back on track.
Now, the Pioneers had one more game this week, and they went on the road to Penn State Greater Allegheny, there. They would win this one outstandingly in fashion. They would definitely make up for that loss to Berea there as the final score of that one. The Pioneers just pull away and defeat Penn State Greater Allegheny 68-48. Davis with 16, McFadden with 9 points, Savitsky with 12, Shartner with 15. Pioneers back-to-back 20-win seasons. They move up to 20-5 on the year. Penn State, they had a Fulton with 17, Hussey with 10. They would fall to 13-12 out of conference, so the Pioneers stay at 10-4. But, Tim, how big is that for the Pioneers to lose a tough one at home, but come back the next day on the road and win it in pretty outstanding fashion, pulling away, winning by 20?
Yeah, it's great things that they did right there during that game. They was just able to get on a long run and be able to play great defense, something they didn't finish out. And towards the end of the game, it showed Penn State try to have different runs, but Point Park was able to finish out and do different shots and be able to score many times.
Yeah, you mentioned the defense. They're holding a team to under 50 again. We saw in the last 2 games they held teams under 50. The defense, take away the Berea loss, though, has really stepped it up since giving up 83 points to Asbury season high.
Yeah, I will have to agree with that, Chris. Just being able to play collective defense is what you've seen in Point Park. They find different ways to confuse the opponent, and it works very well for them because they cause turnovers.
And then you look at too, Shartner finally getting back to the Emily Shartner we know and love, getting double-digit points in 2 straight games. How big is that for the Pioneers to see her really getting back to the Emily Shartner of last year?
Yeah, it's very important for Emily Shartner just to get back on roll. She's one of the key players on this Point Park team. And then this her just being able to hit shots, she's going to need to come in close to this tournament time.
Now the Pioneers, they still sit on top of the KIAC standings here as we come into the final week of the regular season. Pioneers really have done a good job of pulling themselves away, but they're not in the clear yet. There's still a chance of other teams catching up on them here as we're going to take a look at the standings here. Pioneers are 20-5 on the season, 10-4 in conference. But Asbury right behind them at 20-8, 9-4. Alice Lloyd, the team to beat the Pioneers twice this season, 15-10, 9-5. Pioneers here, they still have one more conference game left, and it's possible, Tim, if the Pioneers lose to Carlo, they could fall to third in the conference, and that completely changes their mindset going into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's going to be a big challenge for them to be able to finish out their last conference game because, like you said, they can move all the way down to third place. And that's going to be hard being on the road, but you get to play certain games. But you didn't get to really get good communication with your team.
Now, Tim, they've already guaranteed themselves a home playoff game. How big is that for the Pioneers to be playing at home as opposed to going on the road almost 6 hours away for some of these games?
It's a big key thing for them so far. You know, playing at home around their home turf, just being able to only lose one game home. They've been able to win consistently there, and just assures them possibility that they can win another game. And then after that, they go on the road, and we'll see what the road goes along with them.
All right, thanks, Tim. As always, you're not going anywhere because we'll be right back as we go into the Road Ahead segment next. We're going to bring back Kyle Anthony. We're going to look at the men's and women's standings a little bit further in depth and break down the road ahead in their final regular season of play. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Pioneer Sideline.